No bill? Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the May 9th meeting of Council. I'd like to welcome everybody both in the chambers, and also we say the general public who's watching here this evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Can I have approval for the agenda of May 9th, 2023 regular meeting? It's been moved by Councillor O'Grady, second by Councillor Doyle. Question? All those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried. The adoption of the regular meeting of April 25th, 2023. Can I have a mover? It's been moved by Councillor Snow, second by Councillor Knoll. Question? All those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried. Any business arising from that set of minutes? There's none. Okay. Proclamations. Early Childhood Educators Week 2023. Whereas the Association of Early Childhood Educators the Early Association of Childhood Educators of Newfoundland and Labrador represents those working in child care and related fields throughout the province, and whereas early childhood educators perform developmentally appropriate care and education to children from birth to age 12 in a variety of settings, and whereas such care and education fosters the social, emotional, cognitive, and physical growth and development of these children and supports families in a variety of ways, and whereas this support of children and families ensures the future health of our society, therefore I hereby proclaim the week of May 28th to June 3rd, 2023 as Provincial Early Childhood Educators Week. Do I have a motion for that? It's been motion's been made by Councillor O'Grady, second by Councillor Seymour. Question, all those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried. The next one is Municipal Awareness Week, May 8 to 12, 2023. Whereas municipal government is responsible for the provision of services that enhance the quality of life of its citizens, and whereas dedicated mayors, councillors and staff are essential for effective governance of their municipalities, and whereas collaboration, partnerships and citizens' involvement are essential for active, sustainable and vibrant communities, and whereas it is fitting and proper to recognize and encourage the contribution of all who work diligently for the improvement of our municipalities. Therefore, be it proclaimed that May 8 to the 12th, 2023 be known as Municipal Awareness Week in the municipality of Newfoundland and Labrador in recognition of vital role of municipal government and in recognition of all those efforts that support it. Can I have a motion for that proclamation? It's been made by, motion has been made by Councillor Snow, second by Councillor O'Grady. All those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried. Last year, the town recognized May 17th as TIBG Awareness Day. We recently received an update from Tammy and Edwin Ellsworth advising that there was an ongoing e-petition to have May 17th recognized nationally. This petition, E4021, was presented to Parliament and tabled in November. Bill S260 was tabled in the Senate. The bill recognizes May 17th as DIPG GITC Awareness Day. Okay. Whereas diffused instinic pontine glaucoma, DIPG, that's a mouthful, is a type of tumor that starts in the brain stem and controls breathing, nerves, and muscles, which can cause problems with everyday functions. And whereas brain tumors are one of the leading causes of cancer-related death in children, whereas DIPG is the most common malignant brain tumor found in children, with over 75% of brainstem tumors being DIPG. And whereas most people are unaware that DIPG is a leading cause of brain tumor deaths in children, often not finding out about the disease until they know somebody who it affects. And whereas DIPG currently remains incurable despite decades of clinical trials, and whereas through the work of the DIPG registry, new data is being used to influence research towards improving treatments and outcomes, and whereas on this day we should provide support to those who have DIPG and their family and caregivers, raise awareness of this disease, and promote further research and treatment. Can I have a motion to accept that? Motion been made by Councillor Noel, second by Councillor Doyle. Question, all those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried. Pardon? Yes, I'd like for Councillor Doyle about some ribbons in there today that we're wearing on our lapels, and I'd like to ask Councillor Doyle to explain them now.
The parents of Trinity Ellsworth contacted me this week because DIPG Day was coming up, and Tammy has prepared the ribbons that council and staff and members of the public are wearing here tonight, just in support of families who are affected by DIPG. And she wasn't able to come here tonight. Trinity's anniversary is coming up, and she sends her thanks to the town for everything that they have done to support their family in their time since Trinity got sick and her illness and her passing. So she just wants to, remind people to keep this on their minds and support initiatives where they do some fundraising and awareness, because you never know, what it might take to find a cure.
Thank you very much, Councillor Doyle. Permit listing 10177-101-91, and you can go down through that, and nobody's in conflict. Go ahead, Councillor Doyle.
If everybody could take a look at slide number 3 in their Dropbox. I don't think there's anybody there with any conflicts that I'm aware of. All good? Okay, make a motion to approve permit listing 10-177 to 10-191.
Okay. The motion's been made by Councillor Doyle, second by Councillor Snow. Question? All those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried.
And I guess just a further note that our year to date for new housing is at 8, which is up over the last couple of years after the pandemic, so that's good to see. And the total estimated development at this point in the year is $1.9 million. So it's good to see that things are picking up again.
Okay, thank you for that, Councillor Doyle. Correspondence requiring council's decision. Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, Re 17-G1-22-00012, Water Street, Water, Sewer, and Street Upgrading Phase 3, Part A. The consultant engagement process has been complete. Work WSBE and iCanada Limited has been selected as the preferred proponent as prime consultant at the cost of $112,377.72 HST included. A motion is required to sign the agreement. Do I have a mover? It's been moved by Councillor Knoll, second by Councillor O'Grady. Question? All those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried. Correspondence received and action taken. Council can peruse through that. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm sure there's somebody here who would know. Committee reports. Administration and Finance, Councillor O'Grady.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. The minutes are number 7 in your Dropbox. There's not a lot to discuss. I don't have any motions, but they're, as I just mentioned to you, 162 Water Street, so there's going to be a tender to offer that piece of land up for sale. That's on the corner of Bond Street, Water Streets. So that'll be going up, I guess, soon. And other than that, there's not a lot there detailed, just some things we're working on. The accounts receivable report is there. Property tax is, 75% collected right now, and the water and sewer 73, business tax 79. So the taxes are coming in. We're still working on, I guess, some unfortunately cut-offs for people who haven't paid in previous years, but we're working through those. And other than that, is we had some requests for there's a run coming up in memory of Randy's run. So that's they wanted us to provide some knowledge.
Okay.
There's no emotion or anything. They just wanted to provide them some promotional prizes and barricades and things. So that's no problem for sure. Other than that, if anybody has any questions, be willing to answer.
Anybody have any questions of Councillor O'Grady's committee? Being none, thank you, Councillor O'Grady, for your report. Public Works and Waste Management and Community Service, Councillor Noel.
Slide 9. Thank you, Kerry, for the reminder. In slide 9, you'll see the minutes of the Public Works meeting that was held on April 26th. And from that meeting, there's some notes there, obviously, but there's two motions in 9A. Resolution number 1, to remove the commercial vehicles at 63 Forest Road, located on the residentially zoned property in violation of the parking of commercial vehicle regulations.
The motion has been made by Councillor Noel. Second. Second by Councillor Seymour. Question. All those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried.
Number 2, be it resolved to make a limited call for engineering consultant services to carry out a study to determine whether there are vulnerable areas in the water system.
Motion's been made by Councillor Noel. Second by Councillor O'Grady. Question. All those in favour? Those opposed? Motion is carried.
And sir, that concludes the minutes. If you have any questions, you can direct them to us. And
Anybody have any questions for Councillor Noel? Okay, thank you, Councillor Noel, for your report. Recreation, special events, culture and tourism, Councillor Seymour.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. We had our meeting there last week and on recreation. We looked at a few different things, some developments that was happening. I noticed that we got our swimming pool there. We needed some drainage and everything there fixed up in the change room. That's all in operational now and back in order. I also got notified today that our swimming pool is down for a day or so because we had a little bit of trouble in there. But nobody fear, we're going to get it back up and running very shortly. Everything should be all right. We got something not too serious, but hey, we got people there we can get to take care of. There is one thing that I would note throughout our meeting the other day is our green spaces and everything else. We're up to debate on it. We're trying to get some soils and everything. Everything is all put out there on tender, and tenders are carried. There's one thing that I got to answer though, and we put out a letter to them. People are out there and is on the Facebook stuff and this and that is about the locomotive. Let everyone know that this town and this council is behind us 100%. We're trying to do what we can. But at the end of the day, we are doing it in a manner why it's taking so long, so we don't have to cost the taxpayers money. We want to get this done and done in a proper manner in any way we can. But I want to notify people out there, because I see all these Facebook streams and people putting stuff out there, but I want to notify them that we are doing what we can at our best, and we will do it without costing taxpayers at any cost. So that's, I want to put that there. So any questions that want to be put forward to me other than that, put forward to me, and if I can answer them, I will. And other than that, thank you, and that's my report.
Okay, Councillor Seymour, thank you. Anybody have any questions for Councillor Seymour? No? Okay, thank you very much for your report, Councillor Seymour.
Thank you.
One question. My apologies. I don't have my notebook tonight, so I'm all out of sorts here. I had put in I guess it was a work order or request. I'd been contacted by a bunch of moms and some dads who attend the baby, like parent tot and some family swims. And previously there had been a playpen in the family rooms to make sure that, you know, when parents are getting dressed after the swim, they got somewhere to safely lay down any children that might be there. And to the best of my knowledge, after the renovations, those playpens, or I'm not sure if there was one or if there was multiple, they didn't end up back in the change room. So I sent an email, and I haven't heard anything about whether or not there's been a playpen purchased and put back in the room, or what the status is.
When your thing came in, I read it, and
Yep.
we read there in council, but I didn't have it brought to the committee at the time.
Okay.
Because we haven't had a chance, and
Okay.
the next meeting now will be brought forward to committee.
Okay.
But in saying that, I haven't had a chance also, because our director of recreation has been out of town as of last weekend, plus he's been out of town this week, gone have so many holidays or something.
Okay.
So when he's due back, we'll get that straightened away and put that forward as soon as we can. I
Okay,
promise you
'cause-
that, yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be a major holdup. I mean, it's only
no,
for
I
someone to run in and get a playpen and
Yeah.
put it there. I mean, it shouldn't have to go through a committee or anything like that. It should be just a work
But again-
order or whatever.
But again, director of operations must have the,
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Doyle and Councillor Seymour. Okay, report of Chief Administration Officer and Department Heads, none?
There's a development report.
Go ahead. I skip what? Oh, I am indeed sorry.
It was a really nice try, but you know.
No, they had it tucked in there. I thought it was part of Public Works, Councillor Doyle.
No.
Anyway, Councillor Doyle, you go right ahead.
It was a good try. Under business, oh, I just closed it. Geez, you might be, hang on. Under business arising, we didn't have anything there. We had a couple of applications that I will discuss in a minute. Under correspondence, we did have a number of responses to the discretionary notice that was advertised about the apartment complex that's proposed for Crowdy Street. The deadline actually occurred during our meeting, so we deferred any conversations regarding the responses to the discretionary notice because we didn't know at the time whether or not there was anything sitting in people's emails while they were attending the meeting. So we were postponed that discussion until our next meeting. We didn't have an MEO report. Under new business, we have a discretionary notice that's going to be advertised. We had some discussions about the International Council of Shopping Centre Conference that's coming up in the fall, as well as the Hotel Association Canada Conference, and just a way for the town to, I guess, engage in conversations with any developers who might be interested in learning more about the town, and letting people that are out there that might want to invest in the town that we're open 24/7 for any discussion about any economic development possibilities. So we had some discussions about that. We didn't have anything under economic development. We didn't discuss it, but just as part of the mandate for our committee, council and the general public did attend the consultations for the municipal plan and development regulations that we're currently undergoing. And I can't emphasize to residents enough that if you want to have an opinion on side width lengths or how high your fence is allowed to be and whether or not you're allowed to have chickens and all these other things that are covered under the development regulations, I can't say enough how important it is for you to fill out that survey and have your say, because once the development regulations are done, they're done for at least another 10 years. And in order, if you want to build something in a certain zone and your idea is not permitted in that zone, then it costs you a lot of money in order to have, things rezoned. And so I can't put enough emphasis that it is how important it is for residents of the town of Carbonear to be engaged in this process and have their opinions heard. Once the draft is gone through, it will come back to the town again. And the guy from Upland? Upland did share with us that generally once the first draft comes out and people see what changes or what changes won't be happening, that's generally when you get a bit more feedback. But again, I can't say how important it is to be engaged. Under ongoing items, we have a number of development applications that we're still waiting on. Some things most of them are in the hands of the developers now, if they're going to be proceeding or if they're not proceeding. And under business applications, we've got quite a few still held up with service NL or digital, that department. Just we're waiting on some stuff for that. We have a number of draft motions here. So, number 1, resolve to approve the following applications in accordance with applications submitted, the Town of Carbonear Municipal Plan and development regulations and other conditions as specified, to complete site work at number 1 to 5 Merchant Drive, Phase 1. And resolution number 2, to vary the total floor area of an accessory building at 31 Blueberry Crescent, conditional upon no objections to the discretionary notice in the residential low-density zone of 61 square meters from the maximum of 50 square meters, conditional upon no objections being received by the neighboring property owners by the deadline provided, and further conditionable upon the application being referred to committee and council for further review if objections are received in response to the variance notice.
Okay, so you've read out both motions, so we'll deal with them one at a time.
Okay.
So the first one.
Yep.
Okay, the motion's been made by Councillor Doyle, second by Councillor Snow?
Okay.
Question? All those in favor? Those opposed, motion is carried.
Okay, and then the second one that you read.
Okay, for the second motion, Councillor Doyle just read. All those in favor?
Oh, seconder?
Oh, motion?
I made the motion.
Yeah.
Okay, Councillor
Seconder?
O'Grady?
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
all those in favor? Those opposed, motion is carried.
Perfect.
Never asked for that question. Oh, well. Go ahead.
Just a point of clarification from Councillor Doyle there. What's the deadline for that survey?
The end of March, or the end of May, sorry.
Ding.
The end of May. Do you have the exact date there?
The last week of May, so that's Friday. I will in a second. Maybe. So, the 26th.
The 26th. And I did hear a couple of people say that they had a little bit of trouble finding it. The link is, I'm just looking for it because I actually screenshot it. It's carbonearplan.ca.
That's our website,
Yeah, that's the website, and there's a link to the survey in there. So carbonearplan.ca. And that's it.
So is that all your motions?
That's it.
Okay.
It's short and sweet today.
Thank you, Councillor Doyle, for your report. I didn't mean to miss it on purpose, but I certainly did. Anyway, anybody have any questions for Councillor Doyle? Nope, none? Okay, Councillor Doyle, you're off the hook. Okay, finances. Invoices over 2,000, in the amount of 30,721.88. Councillor O'Grady.
You missed the.
I missed something else?
No.
Oh, no, sorry. I thought there was a report from our public works. Sorry. I read wrong.
Councillor Doyle, you're trying to get me in trouble.
They were just done it.
Okay, Councillor O'Grady.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the operating invoices are listed there in your Dropbox. So resolve to approve operating invoices over $2,000 in the amount of $30,721.88.
Okay, the motion's been made by Councillor O'Grady, second by Councillor Snow. Question? All those in favour?
All right.
Those opposed? The motion is carried. Councillor O'Grady.
That's it for me, sir.
Anybody? Okay, thank you. Regulations for adoption, none. Notice of motion, none. New business, none. Can I have a motion to adjourn? It's been made by Councillor Noel, second by Councillor O'Grady. I guess that's it. No vote on that? Is it a vote on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion is carried. Okay, thank you very much.